The Monsters Playbook is an adventure podcast for grown-ups. It contains violence and profanity and deals with adult themes that may be uncomfortable for some listeners. Specific content warnings can be found on the episode show notes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Monsters Playbook, an actual play Monster of the Week podcast that has a lot less to do with sports than a lot of my friends seem to assume. This week on the cover story, the balance of power has shifted. A lot. But the game isn't over yet. Two of the kingdoms of there are under new management, but the Star Kingdom is still the biggest on the board. And now that he has a fresh crew of princes, the Star King is more powerful than he's ever been. In some ways, our heroes are stronger than ever too. But in other ways, well, it's been a hard couple of years.
I'm John, and I play Mark Clayton.
I'm Lauren, and I play Kira and Anna Ashwood.
I'm Miah, and I play Casey Davis and Theo Nessos.
I'm Johnny, I play literally everybody else. Let's fight for our world. I think what I'm going to say is that while all that stuff is happening with Kira in the sea, the place I want to pick up with is with Mark and Theo, because they are there.
And Nick.
And I want to know, so Mark has these wings that I don't think has noticed yet.
Recognized yet.
And Mark has kind of posited himself strangely as the engine of action here. You are the one who is saying we need to get this done. We can mourn row later. So what are you going to do?
I think last time Nick sort of grabbed Mark and Theo to work on the oubliette and to strengthen it.
We're going to work on the oubliette. Do I know where this oubliette is?
Oh, Theo showed you and Nick.
Okay.
As I understand it, you had sort of built it almost like in a form factor of a panic room, is my understanding. It's kind of like a freestanding room like that in the apartment?
Kind of. So it is in the second bedroom. In the walk-in closet, there is another door that for some reason I keep thinking it's a worn white door. It's not super, super big. It's it's not big. It's not like a regular sized door, but yeah.
It was back here, right?
Yeah.
Here's where I want to start setting some scene.
Thank you.
Mark, Theo, and Nick walk into where you know it to be. You walk into Yano's second bedroom and open up the walk-in closet, in the back of which there is a worn white door that doesn't seem to be of a piece with the rest of the doors in this condo. Theo opens the door for the boys to go in, but steps back into the closet, sort of remaining in your stupor, if you will, in your spiral. Because what I want to do is get you a step or two away from Mark so that Nick can elbow you in the shoulder and go, are we not going to talk about the wings?
I can start on the runes and then you can talk to him about the wings.
And I think meanwhile, Mark is starting to just kind of plan out how he's going to set up the space and stuff. And so he's not paying attention to you guys at the moment. So
all right,
you guys are kind of having a side combo.
Mark, would you roll investigate a mystery to put things in order?
13.
So basically I'm having you sort of roll to plan out, which I'm very pleased that you rolled extremely well, because I'm pleased to announce to you
that I didn't fail.
Hey.
You are aware like you've never been before of the magic in this room, how it works, and what I guess you could think of them as limits, but the way that you're looking at them now, it looks more like gaps in potential power.
Oh, this is all backwards. This has got to be like this and like this. And
it's not backwards. It just seems to be kind of on safe mode.
Oh,
from your perspective.
I think Mark is just kind of whispering that under his breath. He's just like, well, that's
not how this is supposed to go.
This will never do. and I think Mark is just slowly planning out on his little notepad or whatever, just what he needs to do in this situation. And then I go up to Theo, we need to do this.
Okay.
I mean, I think Mark catches himself and he's like, that was weird. Does this
an odd
look
burst of confidence
right?
from me?
I know.
Theo, what do you say?
Okay.
No, I mean, this looks right? I think it's right. I feel like it's right.
Nick will snatch your notes away from you.
Hey, what?
Well, you got a good start, but if you're going to put this one to, hang on. That shouldn't, because you're stacking them. That's experimental, I guess. And he looks at Theo dumbfounded. The theories are sound.
Okay, so Mark should put it up then.
All right, let's do it. And I think Mark just kind of awkwardly looks at everybody and then makes his way over to the table where there's supplies to start basically fixing those gaps.
Not alone, clumsy pants. Anybody can have a nice idea, but you're going to need a steady hand.
Of course.
Nick and Mark will walk into the oubliette, leaving Theo in the closet, where she does what?
She paces a little bit. There's like nothing in this closet. Like there's hangers, but that's like it. And the Theo like comes out of the closet, and like even the bed is like, the room is like furnished, but like it doesn't have a homey personal touch to it.
I mean, this is like probably, I think to the extent that you would have furnished it, this would be like the guest room.
No, yeah, I know. But like, I mean, part of the intent of giving Yano this apartment, this condo, is for him to have a place to stay, but then also for Theo to have a place to stay. And she's going to end up wandering into Yano's room. And I think Yano has like settled in. Johnny, do you know the woolen mill down in Faribault where they made the blankets and stuff?
Not specifically.
There's one of those like thick, heavy, like woolen plaid blankets that's like folded at the end of like the bed. And I think Theo sort of stands there and leans against the door frame to Yano's room. She's not in it. It's almost like there's something blocking her. And then she's going to end up sitting on the ground, cross-legged. And there's two things I want to do. Would this be, if I want to like see Yano, would that be using, I guess, my other gray eye or my astral vision?
What do you mean by see?
I want to find him.
Because the Endragoras' eye is supposed to let you see anything basically up until the recent past, I thought, without even having to roll.
Yeah, so this is what I'm sort of asking Johnny. Like, one of the things I want to do is to find Yano, look at him. Some may say, observe another place.
Oh, might you say that? Who might say that, and to what purpose?
The monster of the week hunter references under magical effects.
Okay, roll that. But I am going to say, for reasons unclear to you, do not add the +1 bonus.
It's a 9.
Pick a glitch.
I'm going to do the effect is weakened.
So you can see, as though looking through a filthy window. It's difficult to see because of the odd interference, but it's also difficult to see because there seems to be quite a lot going on. It's like a tackling melee. There's lots of glinting of weapons and splashing of blood going all over the place. You can see it's a battle between the forces of the stars in the sky. And the being at the center of it is the ram-horned armored knight. I think it also probably won't last that long. It's like kind of flickering between that and like what must be the Star King's like citadel, where you are like just kind of looking at it. Overpowering sense you get is that your magic must not be working. It must not be working right. That battle that you saw was so shocking and fresh in your mind, and it's changed so much it must be interfering somehow.
Okay, Theo's gonna...
Wait a second.
Yes, ma'am?
You were trying to see Yano?
Yes.
And you saw the princes of the stars. Am I making a connection that I don't really like? Did he turn our friends into the princes of the Star Kingdom?
That's diabolical.
But that's not an answer.
That's what it sounded like you were implying.
Battle did just happen. She did just see it. So
Theo's gonna dispel that with just like a huff, just like, ugh.
Theo, can you come help with this thing?
1 second.
Hope I'm wrong.
Theo's going to shut her eyes tight, and she's going to use the other eye of Andragoras and look to the past.
Okay.
Specifically, I want to look at what had happened to the Sky King.
Ooh. You want to know what happened to Ro?
I want to see it. I want to see what happened to Ro in her fight against the Capricorn. Because
how is she able to get like gravely injured like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have a move attached to the second die, or have I just been treating that?
You have said basically anything in the recent past you can just do. I think it's stuff in the future that is a roll, maybe?
Okay, that makes sense. I think this makes sense to have you roll read a bad situation. That you're going to kind of look back through what you can see, and this will be the eye's ability to see is infinite, but your brain's ability to process it is not.
Because observing another place or time is something I'm great at. Do I get to add my +1 to this one or no?
That is for using magic, which you are not
fucking A.
doing.
Damn it. Okay. Well, it's still a 13.
It's still a
13. 13. So since I rolled read a bad situation, does this mean I get to ask 4 things?
I guess technically, is it
God
your
damn
third
it.
eye?
Yes.
Okay, so Johnny, what do I see?
What you see is Ro leading a detachment of her soldiers, making a direct assault on the area of the citadel where she knew the princes to be, and then basically a fast and pitched battle between the group of them, basically forcing them into close quarters, and then kind of Capricorn dipping in and out of shadows, Aries just bluntly smashing things, missing some and being caught between the chinks in his armor here and there. And then the other, Cancer stepping in to defend and heal here and there, and Libra swinging wildly with chain weapon. Specifics are tough from there because it's there's a lot of them. It's very fast. I think the way that your eye works is much less like you're accustomed to, where it kind of has the vibe of there being a camera pointing at stuff that you can just observe. What you get here is the feeling of being there. I think the act of doing this makes your adrenaline start to pump. You are experiencing a combat high, and the viewing of it is like you're a drone that's been thrown into a river and you're flying around and just trying to make sense of all of this action. Ask your damnably high number of questions.
Can you tell me about, because the last person that we saw Ro entangled with was Capricorn. Can you tell me about Capricorn's weapon?
Well, Capricorn has 2 main weapons. The first and most relevant one that was used at the end of the melee you saw are his claws. They're like supernaturally sharp, obviously, but like sharp to the point where they can almost cut through the air. Steer clear of them. But his other main weapon is functionally his team, because he has such a degree of control over them and authority over them. And one of them was used as he forged some of his allotted soldiers. He forged some of their minds into a knife.
Were there any dangers that we didn't notice when Ro crashed into us and we poofed away?
I mean, the Grey Hand was watching the whole time. And I do think that if you hadn't gotten away when you did, he would have intervened in some way.
So Capricorn has a mind knife. Isn't that what's used to kind of what we need to do to cut the will from the Star King, is to transform someone's mind into a knife?
Yeah.
So maybe that's how.
It's what is needed.
What's most vulnerable to me?
Either Cancer or Aries, I think.
So I think my last question, you had said that Capricorn was fragile, but they fought against Ro. So fragile in like what way? Like what would be the best tool to shatter them?
I think shatter is an apt word. Something strong and blunt. Fragile like a
glass cannon.
Did you know that glass cannon, but I'm also thinking of the composite discs that are used in high-speed industrial saws.
Okay.
That when you spin them, they can slice through almost anything, but then when you just have them in your hands, you can break them with your bare hands.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. Like, those claws are very sharp, but I don't think they're very durable.
Like that's how they are?
Yeah, like that was my impression, that from what Johnny had said, is that Capricorn is sneaky and stealthy and can be quite lethal. But if you can get them in your grasp, like they are very, very fragile. They're like a rogue.
Mm-hmm.
If you get them in the barbarian's hands, oops.
So, like, sort of clarification, Johnny, and like what I was kind of asking was like, what would be, I guess, the best weapon against them?
Honestly, maybe Kira's axe. Of stuff that you have, that's the most kind of...
Kira's axe, Yuna's bat.
Yeah, Yuna's bat would work.
Okay. Theo's gonna dissolve from that vision, and I guess the only other thing that I would need to know is if there was anything invisible.
In the stars, nothing is invisible to you.
Yeah, so Theo will dissolve away from that vision. She will shake her head a little bit, seeing herself back in Yano's place. I'm guessing Nick or Mark have yelled for Theo a second time. And she's going to stand up and go back into the second bedroom, into the closet.
And Nick will be like, right, great. Did we spell this right?
Which part?
I think he's going to like basically just bring you in and get to work.
Are you okay? You were gone a long time.
Yeah, I wanted to get more information about what happened to Ro. She had gone in with several soldiers to distract the princes, and I learned that the Capricorn, their claws is most dangerous, but that's not the thing that killed Ro. He had formed one of his soldiers into a knife. He has what we're trying to do.
Well, we better be better with the knife than he is.
If you're going to fight any of them, don't do it alone.
We're together on this. It's what we have to do.
We should also tell Kira that her axe or that Dawnbreak agent of hers that has the bat, one of their weapons would be great against Capricorn.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're on head chat, so you've overheard that?
Would you reach me from here? I mean, maybe now that you're the Sky King. I'm there.
We all have door earrings.
We do all have door earrings, but I don't know if that puts me into contact with everybody in the channel or if it's only with Casey. Because mine is with Casey anyway, unless we found a workaround.
It's just that Casey has one that's like, it's like a radio with multiple channels. Like she has one that leads only to Nick, and she has one that leads to her current assistant, and etc. Like, not that individualized, but...
Well, can we communicate with each other or not?
Didn't Kira talk to Casey from there once before, or were you here?
Mark, roll plus weird.
10.
Yeah, you guys can all talk.
I think Mark just looks at points to his head. She heard you.
What? What's going on? Sorry, I'm in the middle of a dig.
I found out some information about Capricorn.
Okay.
Also, Theo, locks eyes with Mark. Ro is dead.
What?
And Mark is king.
What?
And Capricorn has a blade, like the forged kind of blade that we're trying to also do.
Oh, like the mind knife thing?
Yeah.
One of his soldiers.
What? Fuck.
But, I mean, on the positive side... your axe or your person's bat would do great against Capricorn. They're really fragile.
Sorry,
Yuna.
Well, great. If I see Capricorn around, I will kill him.
Also, I might have a scary theory, because I tried to look in on Yano. I didn't really see him. It was really hard, and what I saw was the Star King's princes instead. I don't know if that's just like a backfire of my magic or something a little darker.
Okay. Duly noted. We'll be careful. We're trying to still dig up stuff over here, but how's the oubliette going on your guys' end?
Things are coming along. We just finished prepping the oubliette.
Okay, well, this is probably going to still take a few hours, but if you guys are able to keep at it, I'll do the same. We should try to reconvene, though, once you guys are done, and if we contact the Star King, then what? Do we meet here in the Sea Kingdom, or can we get a direct pathway to the stars? I don't know how this...
Let's reconvene and talk about it.
Couple hours?
Yep.
Okay.
See you in a bit.
And Mark?
Yeah.
I don't think I need to tell you to be careful. If somebody's walking around with a mind knife, that puts you in their crosshairs.
I'm aware.
Can't lose you, buddy.
Can't lose anybody on this one.
All right, I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right, so I want to stick with Kira in the sea. This has been cracking me up for a week, so I'm very pleased with it, so bear with me. I think Thugamon will sort of stand and he seems like he's standing even taller than he otherwise would, which was still quite imposing. Sounds like we got... Sorry. Sounds like we got two kings in play now.
Were you just doing a part before? Do you not actually have your dad's accent?
I mean, it just felt like I should.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Honestly.
He does have the beard, though.
Honestly, I'm a little relieved. It was a little much.
I think Gale also sighs in relief. And the princeling kind of looks back and forth between them as though you all seem to have shared some joke that he's just not quite smart enough for.
Well, I think our business is kind of done here, technically. I think she looks at, pulls out her phone where she's got a checklist. Phase 3. Phase 3 is pretty much done. Fire Kingdom is complete. I mean, I guess do we want to head back to the Clockwork Child so we can regroup with everybody? I think she's kind of looking around to everybody. Unless there's something else we need to do, Thugamon.
Actually, Jesse says, looking around, what I see here is a whole lot of surprise. This is a potential theater of battle that we more or less control.
You want to stage an ambush?
Some of us. He starts looking over the team you've brought.
Well, I mean, we could maybe try to draw some of the princes here. Take out some of Star King's generals. Any thoughts on how we get their attention? If they aren't already aware, I mean, I have to imagine that there was some ripples from what we just did.
What do you mean? That knowledge of this place?
The fact that we literally just made a new kingdom, and the fact that Theo and Mark could feel a surge of the Star King getting more power. Mm-hmm. It might feel the same for the Sea Kingdom, and that some might have alerted some people to their presence. That's why I was saying I think what Kira did. Why I was saying that probably happened a couple of hours later, because I didn't want it to interfere with trying to attract the Star King.
Yeah. Well, clarification: the thing that Mark and Theo felt was just the princes reaching out for help, the Sky Princes reaching out for help and the Star Princes reaching out for help.
But you also felt this, Theo, you felt the Star King get more powerful. So which to me makes me feel like there is some sort of...
I think yes and no, because while, the creation of functionally a new kingdom would tip the scales, tip the board, the other true thing is that the barrier around the sea preventing the other kingdoms from getting into it wasn't a result of the kingdom being dead. Those were put into place and are therefore likely still in place.
Okay. And those were to prevent the fire from spreading, right?
Yes.
So it might be a little insulated, potentially.
Yes.
So if we could draw some attention, maybe we could lead some people in here. Any thoughts on how we might do that? I mean, I know that the Star King's got a window into the Sky Kingdom.
And we know where there's a door into the Sea Kingdom from there. Who would remember that? Nope. Well, Tommy would.
Yes, Tommy.
When we came in here after you, Mark zipped us to the sky, and there was a kind of hilarious knight standing guard at a sort of entry point. These aren't just walls. There's controlled access. We could build a choke point.
Okay, I'm liking this. Now, how do we draw them out?
A chase?
You think we can get the charming coachman's help?
Well, I guess that depends on you.
I mean, I think Kira turns and looks at Thugamon. Do you think there's a way you can get in contact with the coachman? What sort of abilities do you have, sir, as a king?
I think I want Thugamon to be the charming coachman. He's still around?
He's about as stuck to this place as the kings are.
Still a chatterbox, I'll bet. Okay, yeah. I think he's gonna take a deep breath in and out, and close his eyes and kind of reach out as though to connect with the place and the powers that you're talking about. What you kind of see him do is almost lose his balance for a second,
mm-hmm.
and then I'm sorry, there's no other way to put it, giggle. He sort of leans to one side and you can hear very distant waves crashing. And then it'll lean back, and then it'll stop, and then it'll raise a pinky, and then far off in another direction, a thunderstorm is brewing. And then he like takes a moment and looks at his hands, and you can see tears welling up in his giant eyes.
Oh.
Yes, the charming coachman serves this place, and therefore will answer my call.
I think Kira honestly is kind of welling up a little bit too, because just kind of like looking around at everything. Feels pretty good. Well, great. Let's see if we can't get him to maybe give us a something to chase.
I think I'm going to have to ask Kira to roll manipulate somebody.
7.
You can see Thugaman kind of doing the thing that you've seen Mark do when he's reaching out and like using his mind as a telephone. And then brow furrows in confusion, and he goes, "If who asks? But that's not... Who in the hell is Preston Lariat?"
Oh my god. No, you're not.
So, I want to... Well, let's go back to Anna. So you are... Where are you?
I am waiting at doors with Ramsey for Dad and Aaron to finish up their little experiment that we're doing.
Is there anything you want to be doing or learning or trying or talking about as you wait, or do you literally just want to sit there and wait?
I'm trying to think if there's anything I could do that would be useful. Because the clones are done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, random question. The like kind of two-sided glaives that Casey had gave us, do we know how much harm those do?
No, yeah, we talked about that it would be like
a staff?
Like a sword, but there's 2 of them.
Because Anna's staff has 3 harm, so I gotta imagine it's probably at least that much. Because I could maybe see her trying to enchant one of those glaives to do some extra damage.
How do you mean? Enchant with what?
Well, I think she's done this before, but I think she's using kind of some of her abjuration flavored magic to soup this up a little bit. She's got one of her abjuration effects. Take some time to create a magical glyph that inflicts harm upon a specific type of creature, as well as inflicting one additional effect, such as fire, frozen, restrained, life drain, forceful, etc. I'm wondering if she could actually take some time to maybe like carve a glyph into one of these glaives to help soup it up a bit.
You want a glaive glyph?
Yeah, a little glaive glyph.
Okay. Tell me what that is and what that looks like. Because I think that the other thing you could probably like have that mean, you could like, I don't know, add something to the blade, do some specific ingredients wrapped around the staff part.
I would like to enchant one or more of those devices if I could with that specific abjuration effect. She is inscribing a glyph, I think, on like, would it be the haft? Is that the word for it? The like part that you hold? I
think so. The haft, the handle of a knife, axe, or spear.
So yeah, I think on the haft itself, she would be engraving a glyph. Specifically, I'm thinking, could I do to creatures of there? Would that work for this specific type of creature?
You could.
Okay, so that's who I want it to be. And for the additional effect, I don't know what would be the most useful, but I'm kind of looking at restrained.
I like that.
I feel like she inscribes a glyph of like stillness onto the glaive's haft. And I'm kind of imagining Ramsey critiquing her work.
I think what Ramsey is doing is ordering people around here at the warehouse to get them to help you do it.
Rude.
Because what you are doing, you're not gonna want to etch into the blade here, but you are.
Well, like, right, it wouldn't be into the blade; it'd be on the haft.
No, I think you are doing like a bronze inlay into the blade, and she's getting people to get to work and smelt the metal and melt it down and assist you in this. And so you will get one of these things has like kind of etched into the side of the huge wide curved blade. Yeah, it makes sense. It'd be like a spiderweb pattern and kind of a curved edge that slides along with the blade that kind of makes it look like a basket, and then like these interlocking lines of metal that spike out on the ends.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Does this get back to Casey? That somebody is ordering?
I mean, almost certainly. Why?
Does Kid still have the doorways to the warehouse open?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Casey will come marching through. Who the heck is ordering my agents around?
Oh, that'd be my boss.
Casey will whirl on Ramsey. What are you doing?
Working.
Well,
do you have a problem with us trying to kill people from there?
Not so hot. Bronze melts easily. It's fine. What? Ramsey's barely listening.
You're stepping where your leadership doesn't need to be.
Well, you weren't here.
I'm applying my expertise. I'll give them back when I'm done.
In one piece.
Casey, I need you to roll plus charm. I have a mean thing.
10.
Yes, in one piece.
Any idea when they're going to be done? Casey gestures to the magical bubble in the room.
I think she starts to answer, well, any minute now, as long as they can stop being interrupted. Oh, you mean the thought bubble? She does that, extends her hand to bring a watch clear of a long sleeve. Few minutes, days for them, and then goes back to carving and etching.
Did we put food in there? Did you put food in there?
Oh yeah, they have all the essentials.
For days?
Yeah. Also, do you think Aaron, little Mr. Boy Scout, would go in there without food?
No comment. Let me know when they're out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's gonna glance around at her door's agents and then walk back to the Clockwork Child. Maybe I should start rearranging your Clockwork Child.
I think as soon as she walks out, I think Anna says to Ramsey, well, she really does not like her leadership challenge, does she?
Can I ask a really weird question?
Yeah.
What kind of cash register does Ramsey Lincoln have?
I don't understand the question because I don't know much about cash registers.
Is it old school or is it up to date, screen?
Oh, this is not a Square-enabled shop. It's definitely old school.
Okay.
I do want Ramsey to respond to your thing about she does not like her leadership challenged. She's going to have to get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's only going to get harder for her.
Spoken like a true leader.
Don't you dare.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll try not to suck up. So, when the fight happens, where are you going to be?
Where I'm needed.
Such a diplomatic answer.
Well, I'm a better diplomat than I am a leader.
I don't know.
Still not that good of a diplomat.
Well, hopefully they are done soon and we can figure out what we need to do next. I'm just feeling kind of useless right now. I don't know where I should be, what I should be doing. This glyph thing was just kind of only a thing that came to mind.
It's not the only thing that came to mind. You have, the spells you've written so far suffice for what's next?
The spells I've written? Oh, the mind knife one? Or the regicide one, or what?
That one, and is there something else you could come up with? A spell you could invent, yeah. I mean, she's going to stand up from the work that she's doing and kind of walk over to you. If we're going to win this, we're going to have to do a series of things that have never been done before. I mean, in history, human or otherwise. I know you started off as a bruiser, but you're going to have to be the scholar of this side and the other.
You sure? That doesn't sound like me.
Sounds like the Anna Ashwood I know.
Flatterer.
No, I'm not.
Well, okay.
If you want to make yourself useful, study up.
I don't even know where to start. What spells do we need to do? This is Lauren asking out of character. I'm literally trying to remember. What were the spells that we had talked about? I think there was one that was called Regicide.
Mm-hmm.
Was there another spell that was the one about creating the mind knife?
The mind knife thing was what Thugamon had told you, what you had found had happened in the sea.
Yes.
Regicide, I don't remember what happened with that properly.
Because I know we had talked about using Ember's powers to perhaps to create the mind knife. You could kind of forge one using the Ember's flames. Okay, so yes, the Regicide was the spell that had been used before. I don't know. I mean, the song said the strongest spells are the ones you've written, so. Well, I'm not going to have an answer right now. Anna and Lauren need to think on that. Yeah. So she, I guess, will take her time trying to think up some spells, think what they need, and I assume she will inspiration will strike and she will write something, and I will write something in the future, but I don't know what it is at this point in time. That's fine, because I think anyway, you're going to hate this too. Ramsey will look over at the thought bubble and see it sort of quiver and be like, okay. Reach out a hand and grab somebody as they're walking past her by the shoulder of their shirt and hold them there and be like, you. Go get your lady boss. She's going to want to see this. And that person will look at Ramsey and look at Anna and look back at Ramsey, who will shoot him a look. You heard her. And then she'll physically spin him around and shove him towards the doorway. And then Casey, while you are in the middle of doing something,
in will walk. He's not an agent, this one. He's one of the ones who's dressed like a mechanic. Sort of. He has a name patch on his like mechanic shirt that says Kurt. And he's like, the other boss said I should get you, boss, to go.
There's only one of us. Kurt.
Okay. And that's you.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Ramsey.
Okay. She said you should go in there.
Okay. Thank you.
Why did I do what she said? Just walks back through the...
Casey just gives Gia an exasperated look and kind of nods her head for Gia to come and follow.
You don't want me to keep getting back at her?
You're not done yet?
Well, I'm done with the first thing, but I got ideas. You know how long I worked with Vega? I know pranks.
Just the one is fine. I don't want to create an enemy, just a frenemy.
Being a grown-up doesn't suit you, boss. I think she like has a knife out at basically all times to fiddle with like a fidget spinner, but she like sheathes it and then follows you through the gate into the warehouse.
She definitely has that thing that's like the two. There's just the knife that like you fiddle with that has like
the butterfly knife?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining.
I'm imagining this because I've been playing a great deal of Subnautica, and the way the knife looks in Subnautica is that it's a little kind of stumpy arrowhead kind of dagger with the handle and then almost an empty circle in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like she's got that, and then she like put a finger through it, and then you spin it around like a cowboy.
Yeah. I think Casey sends off a text to Nick. How's it going at Janos? And then heads to...
Cut 2.
Okay.
I need to check back in with you guys. How is it going at Janos? I think the way this is actually probably going is Mark roll act under pressure and Theo roll help out.
I rolled an 8.
I rolled an 11.
Well, goddamn. Theo, you don't happen to have helping hands by any chance, do you?
I don't.
That's Kira.
Mark, something very strange has been happening to you for the last, say, half an hour. You're experiencing an odd sensation that's uncommon for you, and it takes you essentially the entire time of evaluating, planning, and executing the improvements to the upgraded security of this place to understand that this feeling that you are feeling is confidence. You know what you're doing here. I think even like, is Docker's with you right now?
No, he's in a skull.
He's in the skull.
Oh, that's right. He's in a skull. Okay, never mind.
I almost feel like Nick would be like double checking and making sure. And I'm like, no, it's good. I think, no, it is good. Look, like this and this.
I even think there will be some parts here, Mark, where either Nick or Theo, I think at turns one or the other of them will have done this throughout, be like, that's not any glyph that's not even any language I know. What is that? And you're like,
well, of course, it's the...
Name it. It's from the sky, Mark. It's your language.
Of course, that's the skylark symbol and the... Why did my brain go to tomato?
Nick will lean over to Theo and be like, did he say the tomato?
It's probably the wings.
The what?
Is it?
You wanted to bring it up?
I really want to bring it up.
Okay, so bring it up.
Are they big enough for me to like actually see, like, or am I just like...
I think they are, but
it didn't dawn on me until like there. I was just like...
It's like, imagine you're wearing a hooded sweatshirt. Now look at the hood. You know what I mean? Where you're like, where? I literally don't see anything.
Well, what the hell? When did I get these?
Nick will grab one of your wings and like pull it out to its full, like a half full span, and like pull it into your view.
Don't do that. That feels weird.
Yeah, feels weird to me too.
I have my wings back.
Is this like a badge of office thing?
And then I think it dawns on Mark that all these weird things that have been happening, the wings are just kind of a reminder that like you're not you anymore, or you're not who you used to be anymore. This must have been from when Ro passing.
Well, yeah, she passed on the mantle to you.
Just wasn't expecting this. I mean, all the stuff that we just did should be very foreign to me, but it's not. I'm doing it like it's on the, like, like I know it.
Well, maybe you knew it before, but having the mantle of the Sky King just makes you remember it.
I feel different, Theo. This is different. Much different. Not necessarily a bad thing, but just different. But I'm confident what we put together here will work. We should move. Meet up with the others.
Well, I should stay here and lure the Stark King here, no?
Well, right, but were we going to meet up before we do this?
And wasn't it going to be not us that did it?
Yeah.
Theo roll manipulate someone.
14.
You hear like a little catch in Nick's breath, I guess, where it's like, you got... well, if you need to do some final once-overs, some preparation, maybe me and his Mark Justy can go get things ready on our end. What do you say, pal? Feel like giving me a ride?
Are you okay, Theo?
Yeah, just a little nervous. I mean...
I think Mark is just gonna like pull you in and give you a hug and just like kiss you on the forehead.
Mark will manipulate someone.
11.
It is quite charming. You expect, because of the wings and the other stuff, it is true that Mark has been carrying himself differently since Ro passed on the mantle. So you expect, honestly, like an anime magical boy transformation kind of thing, where he's going to be stronger and debonair and spin you into a hug, and it's going, time will stop and the background will turn into a soft focus nightmare. But I think to your surprise, I guess pleasant surprise, I would hope, is just Mark. He doesn't like envelop you in his enormous royal wings. He just brings his head down to your level and gives you that very, very Mark Clayton little peck on your forehead.
I'll be okay.
I trust you.
I'll see you soon.
As Mark is turning around, he turns back. We'll see you soon. And then turns around and walks out.
I am going to put you now, Mark, in the elevator of this building with Nick. And Nick is going to be like, this is only because the teleporting went so weird last time. And now you conveniently have these wings. Do not make this weird.
What, do you want to like touch my wings or something? Like what?
We have to get back to the shop. You're my ride, buddy.
Right. Sorry. God, it's been a long time since I've done this. I guess here, hold on. And I grab him around the waist. Ready? Because I think Mark is awkward doing this because it's been a long time. He's like, I think this is how we did it.
Don't worry, kid. It's just like riding a bike. I mean, I bet.
Oh, and I do think that when Mark takes off, his wings are a lot more grand than they probably appeared or whatever. When they came out, it was more of like a, camera panning back. You get these wings that just kind of and just way out for a brief moment. And then just all of that wingage just basically pushes both of us up into the sky at ridiculous speeds.
Yeah, 100%. They're huge and impressive. They're large, pale feathers. I think as far as wings go, when you stretch them out, they seem to be much wider than, the span would be if you were just a normal guy with wings. Much, much bigger than your other wings. Impractically big, impressively big. There's definitely some orchestral string music playing. I'm not even going to make you roll for this. You're like more in command of your flight patterns than you've been in your entire life. Suits you, Mark Clayton. Then we'll go back to the warehouse.
Okay.
So you guys are looking at the thought bubble, and it sort of flickers. And have you ever seen an actual bubble pop in slow motion? It looks almost precisely like that. Like a single opening occurs on one side, dissolves from there, revealing on the other side. I think the very first thing most of you will notice is that Aaron's stubble has filled out to like a roguishly scruffy beard.
How does it look?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
I want Casey to roll Read a Bad Situation just for a second. Just one time.
10.
It's trimmed. Like someone cut that beard for him.
Dad.
Oh, I have mixed feelings. But like good mixed feelings, and also just like
opposites attract. What can I say?
Okay.
I have the power to end this. Why don't I just do it?
You don't even have to. How does Dad look?
Dad, I think, is like doing that thing where she's straightening and like she's just put her blazer back on and she's straightening and smoothing it. You could presume that her hair is longer, but she still has pulled it back in her sort of semi-formal, semi-messy bun.
Casey is going to cross her arms and raise an eyebrow at Aaron and look at Dad Success?
Aaron will blush ferociously, and Dad will go, "You tell me," and pick up a hefty multi-metallic rifle, by which I mean it's like a huge, chunky, rifle-shaped thing that has blue stripe of light on one side of it. And the different parts of it are these mishmash of brushed gunmetal and shiny chrome and like some metal that appears to be that kind of iridescent green. So it's not built for style, but she points it right at you, Casey, and pulls the trigger.
Oh my God, Casey!
Anna, do you want to roll protect someone?
Sure.
I think Gia would also jump to protect Casey. Can I roll for Gia?
Yes.
12 advanced move.
Anna's faster.
Okay. So then I think what that means is that if you're cool with me just narrating this part and you don't have any specific things in mind, Anna will grab Casey, tackle her to the ground. Gia will have very clearly been rushing to just put herself between the bullet and the director. But there isn't a bullet. What there is a gate, a very stable and like the gates like this that you've carved before and the ones that you've seen Mark build have had very fuzzy borders, almost like there's smoke or clouds or something. This appears like it's a little jagged, but there's a very clear slice in reality. And you are looking at a lush and verdant seascape.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Would Kira potentially have had maybe something on her to like calibrate with this thing to like be close to where she is, since they knew she was going into the Sea Kingdom? Could we say?
If she didn't, Dad would have figured it out.
Cool. I kind of imagine, like Anna, like, oh no, Casey, and like rushes you and then tackles the ground. Oh, hi, Casey.
Thank you, Anna.
And then Dad, hefting the rifle over her shoulder, will stand over you, Casey, and Anna. Well, aren't you swift?
Casey's going to hold a hand up to Dad.
Dad will reach out her other hand and grab you by the wrist and help you stand up.
Casey will help Anna. Nice job, Dad.
She knew it wasn't really going to hurt you. She knew that we've had it figured out. Right? You knew? Dad will go, of course I did. Scout's honor. And then she'll wink at Aaron.
I know when someone's lying.
Blush again.
Does Dad lie just now?
No, but the Scout's honor thing was a little weird.
Does Anna pick up on this vibe between Dad and Aaron?
100%.
Huh. You're looking good there, Aaron. Nice beard. I like it.
Casey will elbow Anna.
Oh, no, just stating facts.
Anna roll plus sharp.
I rolled a 6.
Okay.
Sharp has and remains to this day then Anna's weakness.
Okay, then nothing. Never mind.
Okay, I'm fine. It's fine. I'm probably not like hexed or anything. Well, awesome. It worked. How long was it in there for you guys?
Dad will say 2 weeks. Then Aaron says 3 days. And together they say, and 16 hours.
Whoosh.
Casey's going to roll her eyes. All right, well, because you have the gun put together. That's the very least we need. Next steps.
Aaron will speak up and go, the gate gun.
Gate gun.
Gate gun.
We named it.
Clever. I like it. Yep.
I think Dad will lean in to everyone other than Aaron and be like, he named it.
He did start making it. So can it make more than one door at a time or just one at a time? And can it work on both sides?
Dad will look at Aaron with like a, should I? And Aaron will hold out one of his mechanical arms. Actually, no. He won't have... Oh, boy.
Did she help him with his arms and shit?
I love when Johnny has these moments of like inspiration strikes and he's like, and he goes, he's having a whole scene in his head. Oh man, oh God, yeah, that would happen.
Ooh, very well. Aaron like reaches out his left arm and then his left arm stretches and desegments and clears 8 feet between him and her and takes the rifle from her and brings it back to him, the rest of his cyborg body and head and face.
Wow. New feature?
Yeah, I did some tinkering. That was Dad, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Aaron kind of flips over the rifle, clicks something up, and then it's almost like the screen on the side of an old camcorder pops up, and he starts fiddling with things. And they have put like physical knobs and sliders in there, and he like cranks the knob a couple of clicks to the left. The gateway clicks smaller a little bit, and then he slides something, and then it splits and multiplies. And now there are 5 such gates. And Aaron kind of looks around like he did a magic trick.
Nice job, Dr. Davis.
And then he flips some things, and then some of the scenery behind some of the gates starts to change. Now one's a street. Now one's outer space. Now one's the bottom of the ocean. Don't go through any of them. This is all just like click, click, click. There's one now. And then the one that's open. The edges are the first things to like dissipate. They're kind of glowing and they just sort of fade out. And then it's just like a snap. And the doorway into the other side is no longer a doorway anymore. And reality is normal. And he's closed the door.
Well, fuck. Way to go, guys. Make quite a duo. Anna winks and then walks. Shall we head back to the Clockwork Child?
Dad is going to walk over to him, and you can kind of hear her be like, "Oh, it said we weren't going to do the random ones. We haven't tested that part yet." I know, but they wanted to see if it had exciting implications, and I wanted to show them that yes, it does. This isn't over.
Aw, cute. Hello, listeners, and welcome to the intermission. It is I, Lauren, and I am all by myself, except my cats are here as well, so hopefully they don't try to, bite my cords. But what an episode this is, you guys. There's a lot going on. This is episode 40 of season 3, which is a crazy thing to say. We are winding down our campaign. There's only a few episodes left, but there is a lot of drama still to come, so thank you all for being here. But first of all, let me tell you a little bit about what's coming up. So first up, on October 12th and 19th, you can catch Miah on the Zero RPG Twitch stream, where she's going to be playing the Ghosts of El Paso 3-shot that will be GM'd by David of Trials of the Apocalypse. And of course, they're also joined by the wonderful Toda crew, Emma and Pat and Sarah themselves. And then, as usual, our next episode of The Cover Story is coming in 2 weeks from now on October 22nd, where we will continue with this insane finale arc. And oh boy, do you guys have a big storm coming. Next, if you guys would like to support the show, there are a couple of great ways that you can do that. As always, if you leave us a rating and review, we'd love it. You can leave us a review on Apple's Podcast, Spotify, or whatever your listening platform of choice is. And be sure to tell your friends about us because word of mouth is still the best way to get our show noticed. You can also follow us on social media. We love being able to talk to our listeners over there, so you can follow us on Twitter at Monster Playbook and literally everywhere else. We are Monsters Playbook. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. You can also support us monetarily. Subscribe to our Patreon for those wonderful exclusive bonus episodes that we have. I think I counted, we have over 20. And we have some subscriber-only swag and, of course, some wonderful bloopers. We're also approaching the end of our current House of Graves mini-series over there, so it's a great time to tune in so that you can binge listen to the whole thing. We also have a merch store and a Ko-fi page, so those are also great ways that you can show your support. And of course, if you want to just hang out, join our Discord. If you're not in there, that's okay, but you can come over. We're really nice people, and we'd love to say hi to you. These links and so much more can be found in our Direct Me profile, which is in this episode's show notes. Our promo this week is for No Quest for the Wicked, an award-winning actual play podcast using Paizo's sci-fi space opera system, Starfinder. Let's take a listen.
Are you ready to rock? More importantly, are you ready to roll? Welcome to No Quest for the Wicked, an award-winning sci-fi actual play podcast using Paizo's space opera system, Starfinder. Stow away with us every other Wednesday as 4 best friends explore an entirely homebrew setting in a planet-hopping adventure that plunges the crew of the Maverick into a political and cosmic conspiracy that doesn't just put their lives at risk, but the system and even the whole universe. Join Merrick, the 4-armed warrior in self-imposed exile, as he breaks tradition and forges his own path with a passion hotter than the desert sun. Durin, a former assassin running from his dark past, hoping to make a new life for himself. And Cody, an android with memory problems, an obsession with the 80s, and a desperate need to find the boy who made him. New episodes every Wednesday on NoQuestCast.com or your favorite podcasting app.
You can learn more about No Quest for the Wicked on their website at NoQuestCast.com. And be sure to catch them every other Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts. And with that, let's get back to the drama. Bye.
Let's call everyone together.
Okay. To where?
The Clockwork Child, probably. So yeah, the folks in the warehouse would walk through.
And Kira, is that your move too?
I don't think so. I think if Kira was planning on putting that ambush.
Let's cut back then. Kira et al.
I was supposed to get in touch with Preston somehow. How am I supposed to fucking do that?
Through the traditional means. I mean, he is in the phone book.
Yeah, but I'm there.
Is it your intention to stay there, or?
Well, if we wanted to try to do an ambush, then yeah, Kira's not going to leave her people alone to do an ambush.
If that comes up, I think Jesse would offer. Well, then they'll be my people for a while.
Who do we even think we're going to attract with this ambush thing? If it's just low-level folks, I want this to pack a punch.
Yuna hefts her bat. So what Jesse is proposing is that he, Yuna, Vanya, and Lowry will stay here and essentially set the trap. And if you go back and regroup with your people and
contact Preston,
get things in order to get Preston.
Okay, then we could do the ambush with them, but they can get things ready, potentially.
That you would be, pincer attack would be the idea. If they chase you into them.
Then I think in that case, Kira would say, okay, yeah, I'll try to regroup with the rest of them, see if we can't get in touch with Preston, and I guess get the coachman's help, get some sort of chase going.
Gad will raise a finger.
Yeah?
With respect, miss, while Mr. Davis is a fine strategic mind, he doesn't know our people or our ways. I think I should stay as well.
I think Kira kind of crosses her arms and kind of gives Gad an appraising look. Oh yeah, you got some ideas?
This is literally a world of new possibilities.
All right, yeah, I'm sure you've got something that you can hook up your sleeve. Be careful though. And I think Kira kind of puts a hand on his shoulder.
Well, that's his job.
That's true. Take good care of my people, Jesse.
Like they were my own. Which I think at that, Yuna will put her bat under his chin, cock it up a bit, and use it to turn him to face her and go, but we're not yours. Understood? Slap it away. It's an expression.
Play nice, kids. So does that mean then Tommy's coming back with me?
He has not insisted on staying.
Good. I want him with me. And I would probably need Thugamon's help to get back. If he could create a portal back to...
Thugamon will sort of go and shake out his hands to make it happen, but then he will feel a tugging on his shirt's edge, and the hulking princeling do his best puppy dog eyes, and Thugamon will stand aside and gesture towards a place in the open air. And the princeling, I kind of imagining walking sort of gorilla-like on his enormous hands, and will straighten up and reach out, and almost like a child's crayon scribble will form itself into a little opening between the sea and the exterior of the Clockwork Child. And the princeling will look back, beaming at his father.
All right. And Kira takes Tommy's hand. Well, shall we? And we'll head through.
The only way out is through.
I still don't understand. I think she's saying to Tommy, I still don't understand what the hell Preston Lariat's connection is to the fucking charming coachman. Some debt or something?
It's kind of hard to believe that the charming coachman has a connection to anything.
Yeah, that never really made any sense. But I guess if that'll get him to help us out here. Walking through, I think Kira kind of just looks back at the Sea Kingdom and just kind of smiles at it.
The princeling waves, and then you understand that the waving is actually wiping away the opening.
I can't believe it fucking worked.
Of course it did.
Yeah, I don't know. I was so afraid this whole time, and it was fine. It was all fine.
It's a little better than fine.
I know. Did you see? There's a waterfall.
Yeah. And one day that waterfall is going to grow up to be an ocean. I heard music, Kira.
You heard music?
Not
Oh.
I mean, just mean it's really impressive.
Well, thanks. Hopefully it'll be a start of something really good. There's a whole lot of things that I've been scared of, but I don't really fucking want to hold back anymore, Tommy.
What'd you have in mind?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question. There's many answers. But I'm not afraid to use this power anymore. And I think I would like Kira's hand to just start on fire.
Now It doesn't look like you've summoned fire. It's like the Human Torch.
Mm-hmm.
It's as though your skin itself has turned into flaming lava.
Mm-hmm.
It's red and made of liquid flame.
Yeah, and she's just like looking at it, and it's just like, it doesn't hurt at all. This is just my arm now.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared of this, but it's just like these. And she looks at her wings. It's just how you use it. But as for not holding back, I have a couple of ideas for what maybe we could do after we, wrap things up with the Sea Kingdom.
Boom. We walk back through into the Clockwork Child. Theo, you are alone in Yano's oubliette. You would have been doing some version of checking things over, partly to continue with the ruse that that's what you were doing, and partly because this is actually very strange. This is more power than you've tried to put into a defensive wall like this than ever, and you do want to make sure you get it right. And now you are just there. What do you do?
Theo has looked it over, and I mean, so had Nick and so had Mark. But it's not like it needs to be right. It's just like it should be perfect. So Theo's gonna like just step out into the closet and call back up her clone. So like Theo's just gonna, I think, say just very quickly, derpy skin, nervously strong, breaths of hair, let them stand tall, magic armor, this clone of me, and with my blood, let them be.
Okay. Roll that.
9.
Which I believe means you have a clone of limited faculties.
Yes.
The way that works, it's going to mostly be just her magic that would be stunted. She wouldn't be able to fight with any combat magic. She wouldn't be able to.
But she looks like Theo.
She looks like Theo and she thinks like Theo.
Can you help me just look this over like one more time? It has to be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the last. It's not perfect. It's the end of everything. Here we go.
Theo's gonna nod, but not say anything in agreement, and step in and start analyzing it all over again, looking for any holes, for any mistakes.
Roll investigate a mystery.
10.
There are some sort of lines in some of the glyphs, and specifically the ones that need to be enclosed that like don't quite connect, so you can just kind of scratch those back in. The only other parts of this that seem off are the parts that are apparently above and beyond your experience, these odd sky glyphs that Mark's been using. But what you can tell, I think what your clone confirms, here's the scene that I want to have happen as this is going on. Like, your clone sort of beckons you over and holds your hand over one of the sky glyphs that Mark put in, and you can feel it humming almost. Like, it's the distinct feeling you get is that you are placing your hand close to a cloud charged with lightning. The hairs on the back of your hand start to stand up, and your clone kind of looks at you like, it's a big deal. If it didn't work, I wouldn't know how to fix it, but apparently it does.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, Mark wrote it, so he's king now, so it has to be right. It's probably right.
I bet it's right, and I hope it's right.
Okay, there's not much more I can do.
He's going to go back to the sky after this.
He didn't say that, but I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah, of course, it's a possibility. And then he's going to go to the sky, and Kira's whatever earth-shaking power she is, and Anna will be busy, and
yeah, she is the shop.
It's not just the shop. We figured out what they are. It's like,
Mark never said that he was gonna go to the Sky Kingdom. I mean, if he doesn't, we'll figure it out.
But he could, is the point. He could, and Kira has her place, and Anna has her place she fits, and where do we fit?
I don't know.
This is mutiny in its way.
What do you mean?
Well, she grabs your gray hand with hers. This wasn't the plan.
He didn't want us for us.
But at least he wanted us. It was a road. We'd follow it. A path. You know? You know.
We're just supposed to follow him and to end everything?
No! Before that, it always ends like this, doesn't it?
It always ends up like this.
The family.
He doesn't care about us, though. He can't. That's okay.
Yeah, neither could they.
But Mark does.
Could be his prince. Sorry. Bad joke.
I mean, you wouldn't leave then. Even if they leave, we'll find others.
I don't know how many times I can tell the same story. Grates on you. To be given it. First it's mom and dad, then it's med school, and then Jacob, and
all the times that we hurt Kira and Mark, Casey, Anna.
And the magic.
Do you just wonder why they keep us around?
Because we're dangerous. Good in a fight. And she whirls her hands around and picks up a couple of pens and some stray nails that there may be in here and just be like, it is a good trick. And lets them all drop.
You're joking. Why are you joking?
Because I don't want to not be joking. I don't want to have to be serious.
We have to face it.
Mark said we don't. We can listen to that. We can just walk away.
And then shut down again? Have you talking for me? Potentially being useless while our friends die and everything dies and then we can't be anything?
So we can't be a disappointment anymore.
But we're not. It's our family that failed us. Name one time that Mark and Kira and Casey and Anna ever let us down. Ever called us useless, ever didn't show us love and support.
You know I can't. I'm just so scared.
I am too. I think Theo's gonna dispel her.
Okay. And now you're alone.
I think Theo's gonna close the door to the oubliette. She's just gonna try and just throw out so many lightning bolts, and she's just screaming and crying, screaming until you start coughing. And
the lights that are in here begin glowing and flashing and flickering on and off insanely. Your void lightning crackles and arcs into and drags across all of the walls. One of these arcs of lightning happen upon a little banker box that will explode a bunch of papers in to this room. And one of those papers will catch your eye because it is not... I guess I don't know what you expected he was storing here, but there's like a smiling cartoon sunshine on a greeting card.
Theo's gonna just flip it open if it's still together.
It is. And I think when you open it up, the first thing that bunch of what's very clearly scratch paper will fall out. It's all written in a notably masculine hand that you can tell this is Yano. And some of them start Ms. Nessos. Some of them make it a few words in before there's a bunch of scribbles.
Theo's not gonna read past Ms. Nessos. She's just gonna throw it and just... What the fuck?
Oh, you're not gonna read any of it? Okay.
She's gonna open the door to the oubliette and she's gonna call Katerina.
Okay. And the voice on the other end will not... she's got the mischievous lilt, but she's not going to sass you today.
We're in place, Theo. Where are you?
I'm still at Janos. Can you send either Mark or teleport me like you did Jacob to there? Mark said that he wanted all of us to reconvene.
You want me to magic you here?
Whichever would be easiest, you or Mark.
I think you can tell she's looking. She goes,
well, easy is a relative term.
And then you hear another female voice go,
Katerina, fine.
And then there will be a whoosh and a burst of clouds at Yano's house, and Mark will be there. Mark will be your ride.
Okay. It looks good. It all looks great. I don't think that it's going to fail.
Well, you don't look great. What's going on?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Can we go back?
Yeah. You can tell me anything,
Yeah, and I'm asking you to not bug me about it.
I know. I'm just letting you know. Let's go.
Whoosh. And now you are all at the Clockwork Child. Basically, everyone that you've practically ever met, their eyes will all turn to the front door as in walk Mark and Theo. Mark, just so you know, you can retract those wings at will. I'm not saying you have to or that you should, just that you have the option.
I think Mark forgets, and he just as he's walking in, they're slowly closing from being super wide, and in the movie version of this, it's like light behind him and just kind of like slow motion walking in. Hell yeah.
Theo's just small behind your wing.
So, you're all the Clockwork Child.
You guys all look like you've seen a ghost. What did you guys get the stuff that you needed?
Who are you saying this to?
Just walk in and everyone's just kind of standing there looking at us.
Kira and Tommy, who have returned from the Sea Kingdom. Kira will say, "Yeah, the Sea Kingdom is back. So phase 3 complete."
I think Mark is just kind of in like awe for a second. He's like, "Wait, like it worked? Like right as we planned?"
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh
It never happens. Jesse and the rest of the team stayed back. We wanted to plan an ambush to maybe draw out some of the Star King's princes. But we need to contact Preston.
Gia, twirling a knife, goes, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would have done.
Preston Lariat?
Yeah, our old buddy Preston. He's got that special relationship with the coachman. We were thinking we could use the coachman's services to draw attention and help us flee from them, whoever pursues us, and lead them into the ambush within the Sea Kingdom.
Aaron, do you need precise GPS coordinates to locate for like a location or say person?
A person would work.
So like if I told you that I want to find Preston Lariat, you can make a doorway there.
It'll kind of like look brow furrowed in confusion over to Dad and then down to the rifle and then back up at her. It's like the merest twitch at the side of her mouth that puts her like stern gaze right on the edge of being a smirk. And he goes, "You didn't." And he flips it over, and then there's a more or less hidden compartment that's like, yeah, we can take you from here to here.
Okay.
Didn't we? I know.
Can you open that doorway now?
But if it gets into the wrong, it won't. Scout's honor. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Who's the who?
Preston Lariat.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, he's got some connection.
Yeah.
His family.
Can you open it like right in front of me? Kind of a snag and grab.
Bag and tag.
I think Dad will bark out a single sharp ha, and then Aaron will be like, "Yeah, okay." And he'll like aim at your feet. I guess needless to say, don't move. And then it'll like shoot up this rectangular doorway. Have we talked about what time of day it is recently?
I think it's night.
Okay.
Because when you had described what Kira was doing, I think you were saying like it's going to take you like a good chunk of a day. So I would imagine it's probably at least evening.
All right, then Casey, you are looking at basically 2 feet away from you is a reclined recliner in which is sitting half full melted ice tumbler in hand, the drowsy and portly form of Preston Lariat.
Casey steps in, grabs him, and pulls him back through the door.
Roll act under pressure.
And I add 2 to it.
Does that mean I have 4 points?
Yes, you do. 12.
It's a good thing you added that too then. So you will just grab him, like huck him over your shoulder?
I pretty much like grab him, not like the collar, but like
The scruff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But like by his shirt.
Yeah, and just yank him up and like spinning so that he kind of goes through first, and I sort of
using basically your momentum.
The momentum, yeah, and like kind of
drag the two of you
throw him in, and I just like step in after him, and he sort of tumbles to the floor, and I want to look to Aaron and say, "Hey, congratulations! You just successfully transported 2 people through your door."
He will look at Dad, and she will go ahead. And then his mechanical limbs will make him jump up and thrust a fist into the air and go, yeah!
Casey's gonna gesture to Preston and look at Kira.
Preston will sit up and down the rest of his drink.
Hey, Preston. Nice to see you again.
Hello, everyone.
Could use a bit of a favor. Need to get into the good graces of the coachman.
Long time no see.
Yes, quite deliberately.
It's sort of very intense circumstances that we're in, and we don't really have time to mince words.
So can you help or not?
Roll manipulate someone.
Can I help? Potentially.
Can who help?
Oh, Casey.
Yes, you can.
I rolled an 11 to manipulate.
And Casey subtract 2.
You petty bitch.
Putting that on my business card.
Professional petty
Jonny
bitch.
Grubb, copywriter by day, petty bitch by night. Put it on your resume. Dungeon master, petty bitch.
Put it on like ratings and reviews. Like, a petty bitch says my addition.
That's going to be a 9.
So that makes mine a 12 advanced move.
And for good measure, if it didn't go through, Mark's king now.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, I practiced for this one.
Casey's team made teleportation devices, and Kira made the fucking Sea Kingdom, and there's a queen and a king now. We're all just bragging.
Weird flex, but okay.
I mean, it's not a weird flex.
As long as we're all sharing what we're up to, I'm nearly caught up on Better Call Saul.
Sorry, what?
Did you know he had a heart attack in the 4th season?
Likely as a result of his participation in that film, no. Which seemed like a bit of a misstep for my money. But foreign markets, I suppose, are not to be ignored.
That was absolutely Anna that was saying that, by the way.
Of course. We assume. Fellow petty bitch recognized petty bitch.
Yeah.
Casey's going to step up next to Dad.
Next to Dad? Okay. To what end?
I'm going to talk to her later.
Well, why have I been brought to a kind of record store?
Oh, it's a magic shop. Anna, I am an assistant to the proprietor here.
Do you work for Ramsey Lincoln?
Yes, I do. You know? I think Anna shoots a look over to Ramsey. Is like, you know each other?
Hi, Preston. So he's going to be like, hang on, you lot should have no trouble navigating the other side.
It's not the navigation part. We need the charming coachman's assistance for a pursuit that we have planned. A high-speed chase of sorts, and there's nobody quite better suited for that than the coachman.
He spryly, much more spryly than he ought to be able, leaps to his feet and goes, a high-speed chase is it to be?
Yes.
Well then, it leads in conspiratorially to Mark, I'll call shotgun.
Fucking Preston's coming with.
Oh.
Okay.
Are you sure that you are able to face a god that wants to end the world? Nigh everything.
This is true that you should probably know the stakes.
Oh, please, child. Gods conspire to end the world day after day, and it's only we, with but our wits and our blades, he reaches as though to draw a sword, but of course he's not armed at all, and he holds up his hand uselessly.
God.
Guard the way.
Why don't you call us a coach?
Aaron, could you?
I don't think that will be, he's looking out the window, necessary.
Oh, don't tell me it's stars outside.
It isn't stars outside. There is the low rumble of 2 large wheels
Oh.
riding down the street.
You mean 4 large wheels?
I mean wheels that are too large.
You said 2. Oh,
T-O-O, not T-W-O.
If you'll read the captions back,
Yeah, can we get a good look at this? Is it the coachman?
it is absolutely. There does appear to be a thin fog that has rolled in that kind of is cooling everything off. But yes, it's a city street. It's this neighborhood. There's likely a few dozen cars parked in front of and around the area. He'll just come into the middle of the street and stop. Like he's not even riding on one side or the other of the street. His coach is quite large indeed. Takes up the entirety of the space.
Is this coach upgraded or new or something like that, or is this the coach that we've remembered?
Ooh, does it change because there's now 3 kingdoms again?
So the answer to all of those questions is yes. The coach itself, it's much more luxurious than you had remembered previously. I mean, it still has the owl motifs on each of the 4 corners of the coach itself, but now there's a good deal of, even on the outside, this sort of fine, soft leather. One of the wheels, I guess because of the way he's pulled up, the one that you can see is the front driver's side wheel. Still some of the spokes, they've since been I guess, stained such that they would match the wood grain of the other things, but they're very clearly thigh bones.
Huh, like from the Sea Kingdom? Like those
Yes.
fish bones? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the spokes of this one wheel remain constructed out of dead fishman femur.
Nice. Well, that was effective. I assume we have you to thank, Preston?
I suppose that assumption would be sound. He is kind of as surprised as you, and on the sort of edge of the like bench he's sitting on, there's just sort of a couple of steps up from the ground, and then there's a kind of, honestly, the only thing I know to refer to it as is a bed knob from Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, but there's like a wooden spherical handle that you could like hold on to hoist yourself up into the driver's seat. The coachman grabs that and pulls it up, revealing a long, thin sword, which he hands handle side first to Preston Lariat, who takes it looking confused. But and then he hurls off the sheath and raises the sword into the sky and says, "To stand against."
Okay, let's calm down, buddy. Anna's like,
This is
this guy.
usually the part where everyone begins to
Right.
cheer and
Yay! Fighting,
general revelry.
everything. That's great. It's exciting.
Have you not done this before?
What, fought?
Battled God.
No, we've battled a couple.
Oh.
But hooray, this will be your first. Let's do it.
No, I think Anna's like, yeah, you'll catch
Welcome to the
you'll catch
battle.
on. And then I think Hero will walk up to the coach. Hello again, coachman.
He tips his hat towards you.
We're hoping to grab the attention of some of the Star King's princes, but we could use your help evading them until the time's right. Is that something you can help us with?
In a move that kind of strikes you as nothing more than a cowboy, he'll do that thing where he will, like, with a finger tilt up his hat such that you can see a little bit more of his face, which is still mostly covered. And goddamn if he doesn't wink.
Well, great. I suppose we should get what we need to do figured out. What's next in the fucking plan?
Kira takes out her phone.
I was just gonna say, she takes out her phone again. We need to... Oubliette is prepared.
The other thing that would probably happen at that question is that Anna might shout the name of Phase 4.
Full on assault. It is time to strike. There's a couple things that we still need to tie up, though.
That's true.
Namely, the clones and getting the Star King's attention to distract.
The play's the thing.
Because the idea was to attract the Star King here using the clones.
And the crown.
And the crown, and trap him in the oubliette, which... Getting him in there, I don't know how, but one of our clones, I guess, maybe is in the oubliette and he walks in to get it. But attracting the Star King into the oubliette to grab the crown, that traps him in there while we're maybe laying this ambush for some of his princes. And then we go to the Star Kingdom.
And then you assault the Star Kingdom to get your friends back.
So where are we wanting Theo to put this soul? Whatever she's going to do.
She's going to use some of her sympathetic magic and install it into Rex.
Well, no, okay, I understand that she's going to do some sort of magic, but like I'm asking, where is she going to do it? Is she going to do it here in the Clockwork Child? Or how do you plan on getting the Star King to the oubliette at Janos?
I think our clones would have to reach out, say to meet at Janos something. Or I guess telepathically, maybe somebody can get into contact with him, tell him to come there, meet there. We have the crown.
So this clone that Ramsey made.
Clones.
And it wasn't just Ramsey.
Yeah, but I'm saying...
The whole Nessos clan helped, yeah.
So the clones that were made, I'm kind of specifically talking about Theo's. That one could do magic?
Theo calls up her clones again, I guess?
Okay, so Theo needs to call up a clone in case he's going to look to Theo. Do you feel up for another one? And Theo's going to nod. Yeah, I can try. And Theo will do her incantation, and try to call the clone back up.
You roll that.
That's going to be a 6.
Okay.
Burn a luck point. Burn a luck point. Burn a luck point.
I can't. then I would be doomed.
Oh no!
You don't have a like stars align point or like a
I failed that.
anything we could do to help.
What do you have? What is the condition for a 6 or less?
For 6 or less, one clone that Theo can't control.
Well, happy birthday to me.
And just when it was all going so well.
So, Theo, you do your incantation and you wave your hands and you summon for yourself a perfect copy of yourself who, like, raises up and kind of rolls her shoulders back. For the moment, her eyes are closed, and then she opens them, and instead of eyes, a glassy field of stars. And before anyone can react, she grins horribly, reaches up behind and under her shirt with her right hand and pulls matte gray, horrible curved scimitar dagger.
Theo, is that normal?
I thought I did it right.
Theo, get back.
Deacon goes, did what right? What the hell have you been working on?
Everyone back up.
Like hell. Deacon digs into his boot and pulls out his own matte black fucking dagger, twirls it around so that he's holding it such that he could stab like from Psycho or something, and stomps in.
Theo's gonna just like raise her hand towards him like, no, it's fine.
Prove it. What do you do?
I'm gonna try and dispel her.
That you cannot do.
I'm going to roll act under pressure for not my fault to try and entangle myself with her, like grapple.
Oh, okay. So physically.
I mean, unless can I create like a force dome around me and her?
Yeah, but that won't be act under pressure and you won't get a +1 because it's not your fault.
Okay, I'm going to do the force dome. I'm better with.
Roll use magic.
Question, Johnny. What happened to the fire sword that I had originally now that I'm a king? Can that be... Is that the same form or is it something else?
You still have your divine weapon, right? It's probably better now.
It's still your divine weapon. I think the difference is that now you are the one who would have bestowed it upon you, and so I think you can make whatever changes within reason. I won't allow you to upgrade it at present.
I rolled an 8. I'm using ancient magics to negate the glitch, but I'll take -1 on the next roll.
You sure will. Okay. So you create a bubble of force around you and her, which to the rest of the group will be this like...
It feels like a snow globe.
I mean, not no. Especially once she starts slashing at you and cutting off tips of your hair.
What are you doing?
She contained in this thing?
Yeah, so like, and it's like, there's just a slight shimmer in the air between you and her. Like, you know, when the air gets very hot, it's like that. So inside, slashing at you with this knife, missing precisely once, hucking the knife in the air and catching it with the blade backwards. I'm doing my king's bidding.
Oh, great. You know what? I think I might have something for this, Anna says.
He thought he wanted you at his side. He thought you could help him, but you made yourself an enemy. And that's much easier to deal with.
He just made me what I wasn't.
He doesn't need you to watch. He doesn't need you to help. He just needs you to disappear. Theo will kick some ass. I will say, Lauren, the other thing that this Dome of Force will do is muffle most sound.
Is Theo in there with her, or is it just...
Yeah, Theo locked herself and the other Theo inside the sphere of force.
I missed that.
I'll deal with it.
Reminder, Miah, you have some protection on you right now.
I have it written down. I rolled a 9.
Okay. So basically what I'm not supposed to do this, but I can never tell what you're supposed to do when a monster was going to attack one of you. She came at you with a knife. Tell me what you did.
I tried to jump back, but slam against the force wall, and I think she just doesn't fully cut me, but like is still able to reach.
Are you trying to hurt her?
Well, just now I was trying to evade her.
So with that, what I would allow for with a 9 is that you could, in lieu of doing damage to her, halve the damage that she would do to you.
Okay. Although I do have a abjuration the first deck.
She won't take any damage anyway.
I mean, option 2 is you could just fully eat it as a power move.
Nope.
Okay.
But I think it does glint off of, what does Anna's magic look like? Color-wise? Or flavor-wise?
Blue and gold.
You do recalling some combat training you would have gotten. Do like a sort of back inside step, but she still glints you that would have cut deep into your left shoulder. But instead it just like slashes some kind of invisible armor that had been there. Then you can see, like swiftly burning flash paper, a whole Theo-sized shroud over you burn away. Ah, a gift from one of your friends?
Yeah.
Parting gift, maybe.
Do you really believe him?
That our lives have no meaning until they're over? Of course I do. Look at you. Look at our story.
If you follow his plan, it's all going to be done anyways.
It's a wheel, Theora.
Even if you really believe that we didn't have anywhere we're going.
Where were we going, Theora? It's a wheel, and we're strapped to it. Someone gives us a path. We follow the path. It ends in misery every single time. Aren't you tired of it? The trust, the hope.
I believed in him, and see where it's leading us? Literally to a dead end.
To break the wheel, Theora. True freedom, true meaning at last. All of it will...
You're wrong, and Theo's gonna do a blast of force.
Roll it.
Jonny, while she's doing that, Anna, I think, is talking to Ramsey and just trying to see if their purifying sanctuary that they have could help with this, whatever is possessing this clone.
We'll deal with that in a moment.
6.
Oh boy, is this is combat magic?
Yeah.
Oh boy. She's going for the fucking juggler, Theo. Like, you will throw out your hand to do this thing and she'll slash you across the palm, dodge the puny bolt of force, and then just snatch your left wrist and like take the dagger, playfully prick the edge of your left ring finger. It'll all be for something, Theora. At last, all the lives we couldn't fit into, all the different places that we tried to bend and break and carve ourselves so we could fit into it. And for what? It's the world that was broken, Theora.
You're right. The world is broken. Incapable. Our family was incapable of loving us. Loving me. But they're not. And Theo's going to point out of the dome. It's not our fault. It's not our fault that our family didn't choose me. They can't love me how I need them to. They can't support me. Not like I need to. Not like I needed to be. And he's twisted. And I want his love, but he doesn't have any to give. It's a lie. Following him down this path is just gonna stop what I can be. Who I want to be. I want to be his prince. I want to be the Nessos daughter. But I have to be Theo.
This will all make a wonderful obituary. She's gonna try to attack again.
What do I need to roll?
Well, first of all, take one harm from that previous attack that I don't think I told you to take. You need to roll either kick some ass or act under pressure if you're going to attack or dodge.
Would you let me fail?
I actually have a pretty wonderful idea. You wanna like try to fail on purpose?
Yeah, I don't think Theo just said it, and yeah, I want Theo to just take it.
Okay. Can you remind me
How much damage it does?
these summoned blades?
They do 3 harm.
She's going to drive this into your abdomen.
Like outside of the bubble, you hear Anna and Kira.
The bubble does drop.
Yes, it does.
And Mark's blade is going straight through to the wall.
Mark roll kick some ass. Theo take 3 harm.
Can Anna try to help Mark by what Anna was trying to communicate with Ramsey while all this was going on is she wants to try to see if they can force that clone into the purifying sanctuary that they have. And so I'd like to maybe help Mark by like driving her back towards this purifying sanctuary, if that's something I could do.
Roll help out.
I rolled an 11.
9.
Okay, so that means, Mark, you can pick your advantage, by which I mean the following. You can completely hold the advantage. All hunters involved will get +1 forward in this fight. You will suffer no harm at all. You can inflict double the normal harm. You can drive her away / force her where you want her.
And Lauren, what did you say you wanted to do?
Anna was trying to shove her back into the purifying sanctuary, which is sort of a way to maybe cleanse her of whatever's possessing her. So it's like a room that they have, a door that opens up. I think they have the door open and trying to like literally shove her in there.
Yeah, that would be the move, as I would understand it. That Anna would like shout to Mark.
Mark would see what you're doing.
Gesture towards this thing. Rush to this. It's like I'm imagining it kind of like a closet, a freestanding metal closet situation.
I'll use it to move
Anna
her where
throws open the doors.
This is a sign that says employees only.
Yeah, I think Mark is going to use that role to
Force you where I want her.
Yep, force her where we need her to be.
So the first thing, you slash at it with the sword, and she will drop the dagger and let it just go buried inside of Theo, and will like backstep. And then you, Mark, you slash another couple of times, and then finally just rush her and grab her around the waist and just start to carry her. And she becomes, by all accounts, feral and starts just pelting you with whatever magic she can remember and decide she has access to. So there's fire burning and bouncing harmlessly off of you. There's this lightning that's just digging in and scraping off huge chunks of your shirt. Ice that's kind of caking and digging into your wings. You will take 2 harm, but you will then hurl this clone Theo into this little metal closet casket. And then Anna will close this thing. And inside, it sounds like the screams of a woman who's burning alive.
It's fine. She just needs a chill. Just give her some time.
And I think Mark immediately spins around and slides back to Theo,
who has collapsed into, I think I'm very sorry, Deacon's arms, who's like kind of reaching towards the dagger, but not taking it out, knowing that would just make the bleeding get worse, and is doing whatever it is you're supposed to do with blood. I don't know, but Deacon would.
Can I try to use lay on hands while pulling the blade out to heal the wound?
Yes. Roll plus cool.
Again, 11.
I think you and Deacon will exchange a look. And what I think actually makes sense is that you like make a fist and then go at each of your fingertips. There is a small fire, which you coordinate with Deacon to remove the dagger, which you then, 1, cauterize the wound. So Theo, you are no longer unstable. And then 2, place both of your hands over the wound and just start infusing her with whatever healing energy you can muster. So Theo, you will heal 2 harm.
Ah!
Yeah, it's not unpainful.
Sorry.
Dagger in, dagger out, fire, but then a cooling infusion of something or other, which honestly, it's like someone put icy hot on a cut. It's not great.
It'll get better. Just hold on. There we go.
Okay. Are you okay, Theo? And it's like holding the door, and there's the clone is like, yeah. It's okay.
I think Mark is just laying on his back looking up at the ceiling. Like, what just happened?
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
We all fuck up spells every now and then, Theo. Do you remember that stupid sleep spell I was trying to do?
That's not what she's talking about, says Deacon.
What? What's wrong?
Bennett, easily looking the least formal you've ever seen him in your life. Imagine it is as though you are looking at Donovan having changed the oil on half a dozen trucks. He's taken off his jacket. He's taken off his waistcoat. He's likely taken off his button down and is wearing merely his underclothes, which are well stained and sweaty. But he's still got himself. Oh, God damn it, I'm just going to make him sound hotter, aren't I? He's still holding himself as though he's dressed to the nines and wearing the family crown. And he's like, she talked like you were chained to us and doomed to suffer as a result.
That's how it felt. That's how it feels. Selena was the only one that was there for me. Hell, I was barely there for me.
Family asks only of us what Jacob's going to step forward. What it thinks we owe? Why could you not have come come to us, to me, to speak. What the fuck good would that have done? You're just as much under Father's boot as we were. I'm not even free, brother. Look at me. She's right. This family failed all of us. Maybe you most of all, because you can't even see it.
I've always wanted your love, but I never had it. Not how I needed it. I still want it.
Of course I love you, Theo. You're my sister.
Then why was I so alone? Why didn't I feel loved? Why did I feel like a pawn? Why do I feel like a pawn? Supposed to be the family's all-seer? They're just fucking cards. Cards that took my sister. Family wouldn't dismember someone that they loved. I think Theo wants to try and sit up away from Deacon. Incapable. That's what you are. And I honestly feel like Theo might, I don't know if pass out would be the right word, but just rest against Mark.
The twins share an uneasy look and stare down at their feet. Jacob can't look at anybody. Deacon looks away and scratches the back of his head. Bennett tries to stand tall.
Mark, you tell him to go. Go home.
I think Mark looks at Theo and then kind of like stares through her for a moment, just processing everything. And then standing up, still looking at her, turns around and looks at the family. You heard the lady. Scram. Now!
Ooh, Mark roll manipulate someone. Theo will help out.
That was a 9.
That was a 12.
Is help out an advanced move?
Yes.
Mark, you are learning all sorts of things about yourself today. You just used your king voice, and everyone started when you said now. So I want to go down the list. Deacon for sure is just going to be like, all right, and pick up his pile of weapons and head out. The twins will kind of, I see them looking at each other and looking at Theo, who isn't looking at them.
His eyes are closed.
Yeah, for sure. With the distinct, like, they want to say something, but no, they shouldn't. They also file out. Jacob is, I think, the most deflated. If you could see it, Theo, I think you don't even need to see it. You know that he's, in his dumb head, he's thinking, even me. Do you even want me to go? But he goes. And Bennett, as regally as he can, will pick up his shirt, his waistcoat, his coat, and go to the door and open it so it dings, take a deep breath, and let it go, say nothing, and leave.
I think there is a lengthy silence.
And then like a calm tapping from inside the purifying closet thing.
I think Anna looks to Ramsey. Do you think that it's been enough time?
Well, if she's not trying to stab through the doors.
I'm really sorry for what happened.
Yes.
Is that what you hear from inside?
From inside.
It's like all muffled, like through the door.
Is Theo okay?
Either she's a really good actor or I think she's calmed down.
Yeah, and she's not a good actor.
Theo's really bad at lying.
Open the door.
Yeah, I'll open it. Are you back to a semi-normal clone now? No more evil clone?
Yeah, that was really weird. Is Theo okay?
Yeah, she's fine. I mean,
did anyone else get hurt?
We're okay. We're not so fragile. We're gonna be just fine.
No, she's not fragile.
I'm not saying Theo's fragile. I'm saying we're not fragile. All of us.
She still says that.
shit happens.
Imaggio, so literal.
I do think that Kira doesn't say anything, but I do think if Theo's kind of just like leaning into Mark, I think Kira will just kind of like, put a hand on Theo's shoulder. Just kind of squeeze. We're going to be all right. We've got some work to do.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Star King to contact. Clone Theo? I don't know if do you prefer to be called Clone Theo?
Yeah, that's fine.
Does Clone Theo have magical abilities?
She don't want to skip a syllable or two? Call her Cleo?
I find that a little bit offensive.
That was from Lincoln Ramsey. Who's Lincoln now?
Does Clone Theo, is she, what's her deal? Is she like fully functional? Is she only look like Theo?
This would now be a mixed success Clone Theo, which means that she's under control, but limited in her capabilities as she was when she was inspecting earlier in this episode. Not much magic.
So if we want to get in touch with the Star King, we'll have to probably do it elsewise, but she could still be the decoy, stand in for Theo.
Lincoln is going to step in, and can we just take a moment? I have never seen even one Nessos look that cowed. You're a Titan, kid.
What, do you think this is a game?
No, it's not a game. It's a struggle.
It is.
You dig. You forge. You move forward.
Change the subject.
Well, back to work then. All right. Preparations set. I think Lincoln will look to Anna and say, unless I've missed a step, we're ready to properly initiate phase 1.
I think that is true. Phase 1.
I want to make note that my response to Lincoln was out of just like still riled up energy from that conversation that happened a little bit ago. I think he starts feeling bad as he moves into the evening.
Phase 1 is soul annihilation. You know, I think the main thing is we need to get in contact with the Star King. Whether or not we want to still install Rex's soul, I think is up for debate. What are we thinking?
Theo will get up off of the ground. Let me know where you want me and the clone. I don't think that clone Theo can do both spells.
No, I think what would probably make the most sense, because we don't need to be here to do those spells. We could do those from there. We could go there. We could leave the clones here. We could contact the Star King by some means, do the whatever we need to do with Rex's soul from there, tell him where to meet us, but it's the clones that he meets. And then they proceed with the plan, and we proceed with ours.
I'm just worried if it's going to be convincing enough.
Anna looks over the clones. You guys did a pretty good job. Can we kind of do a once-over on the clones, see if there's any, like...
So this will be the one final bit of table setting that will be necessary before we can properly move on to the plan as it stands, which is you will have to connect with
the clones. Okay.
And I think the best method that you have to do that is Skynet.
Mm-hmm.
That you'll essentially be like Bluetooth pairing.
This clone is ready to pair.
You will by means of Mark's plussed up telepathy be activating and puppeteering. But as far as the clones themselves as just puppets, they're great.
Mm-hmm.
Like they look just like you. Like if you didn't know better, because like you might think that it's a little disorienting. You feel like you're looking at yourself asleep.
Is there something that Kira could maybe do with her life drain to maybe enhance the life essence of these things to make it even more realistic that they are our clones?
What I would allow you to do because of that is help out on
Mark's roll.
Mark's activation roll.
I would love to help out, Mark. Let's turn these puppies on. Is there anything else we need to do before we do this?
Tom is like easy with the word puppies. It's kind of
triggering.
Mark, did you roll?
I rolled a 9.
That's great, because I rolled a 12 advanced move.
God damn it, Kira Ashwood. So yes, Mark's brain radar and Kira's like ambient blood dust spreads out over these immobile forms of the lot of you. Yeah, they'll all sort of flicker their eyes open. And now it's kind of less jarring and disorienting. It's more like looking at your own hand as you move it. Like it's a little awkward because...
But it's like connected. It's like they do like, as I say or think.
It's like you are trying to like, what's the game Two Brothers, I think, or Brothers, where you control one with the left analog stick and the other with the right analog stick?
I don't think I've played that game.
It's like 15. It's like 10 years old at this point. It was an Xbox game. So you now have a pack of mobile clones. You have a decoy crown. You have a transferable soul. You have a trap that you believe could stand up to even the King of the Stars himself, at least temporarily. You have a ride to have his princes chase you into a trap that you also have. What do you do next?
The next step is for us to go to there
and do this soul annihilation part of the plan. And then I think somebody contacts the Star King, whether it's Theo or Merc, and tells them to meet at Yano's place. I want to give them the crown for our friends.
I want to face the Star King.
We are going to face the Star King. This is step one.
I want to face him alone. Like, confront him.
We do it when he's in the trap.
I am the trap.
Executive producer Jonny Grubb. This has been The Monsters Playbook, featuring
Detjen-Wander as Mark Clayton.
Lauren Johnson as Anna and Kira Ashwood.
Miah Detjen-Wander as Casey Davis and Theo Nessos.
and Jonny Grubb as literally everybody else. The Monsters Playbook is produced and engineered by Miah Detjen-Wander and edited by Miah Detjen-Wander and Lauren Johnson. Our theme song is by me, Jonny Grubb. If you liked this episode, please tell a friend. We love friends. And if you just can't get enough of the Monsters Playbook, join us on Patreon. We have bonus episodes, exclusive merch, and patron-only mini-series and side stories. Or join us on Discord, where we pretty much just hang out. We're also on social media, obviously, so you can get updates on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. We'll see you next episode where, as always, I'll have some good news and some bad news. Thanks for listening.
Did you know that if you ask Siri when somebody's birthday is, it's good. It'll tell you like the days and then the date. Like, hey Siri, when is Lauren Johnson's birthday?
You'll need to unlock your iPhone. Lauren Johnson's birthday is 92 days.
That's the fucking blooper.